Well, that was a bit unexpected and quite surprising. To quickly summarize it, Grand Theft Auto 6 has now been delayed to May 26th of next year. Now, I'm not going to read exactly what they posted, but I'll put the message on the screen and you can pause and read it if you need to. Are you done? Okay, let's talk about it. If I'm to be as honest as possible, it was very shocking when I woke up to see this message. At the time, though, the idea of Rockstar delaying the game wasn't completely out of the picture either. From my perspective, I always had the idea that, at the time, there wasn't any evidence to suggest a delay, but that didn't necessarily mean that it couldn't happen. And normally, I would have expected the game to have been delayed due to the lack of new info, but I gave Take-Two and Rockstar the benefit of the doubt due to Take-Two reiterating that their marketing strategy changed for their bigger franchises. But as it turns out, that gut feeling of knowing something wasn't right turned out to be true. After the news broke out, Jason Schreier posted on his comments about the delay announcement. Specifically, he talked about that from his sources, none of them believed that the game would actually release in fall 2025 due to having too much work to complete in that short of a time frame, and the game slipping into 2026 seemed inevitable. This is assuming that they are to prevent crunch culture, which he seemed adamant about. He claims that from what he's heard, the studio is a night and day difference compared to when they were working on RDR2. Interestingly enough, Obey Vermey, and apologies if I mispronounced, had worked at Rockstar but left after GTA 4. But on September 9th of last year, he made the post talking about how Rockstar as a studio wouldn't accurately know a release until about May. And as it turns out, he was correct. Granted, he did mention that he didn't have any inside information, but based on his experience, he was able to correctly predict Rockstar's decision, even if this was unplanned. So while it's disappointing to see the game being delayed, there is some optimism to throw at it. One reason is the fact that it's an actual release date and just not a time frame. And this reason is due to the fact that Rockstar has always fulfilled the promise of releasing a game the moment they give a specific date. The only exception to this is GTA 4. Every other game, they've always fulfilled. So if you're scared about them delaying it to fall of next year, I wouldn't worry so much. I'm not going to say that it can't happen, but rather I'm even more confident about it as compared to them giving a time frame instead. Secondly, I do believe that a May 2026 release will be more polished as compared to a fall 2025 release. The only downside that I see from this is the fact that we'll have to deal with another year worth of Mr. Slop for the win in terms of scummy clickbait. It will be interesting though to see if GTA 6 will win Most Anticipated again at the Game Awards in December if it's still eligible. Plus, it's already been about 500 plus days since the release of Trailer 1, and as odd as it may sound, time has flown by, or at least it kind of feels like it. I feel like the main issue, though, outside of the delay, is the lack of communication. Because during an interview, Strauss mentioned that the reason for the quietness is to build the anticipation. However, at this point, my anticipation has turned into annoyance. But don't get me wrong, I'm still excited to play the game when it does release. But I'm no longer anticipated like I once was. I used to say that I was only excited for fall 2025 and didn't care too much about the advertising, but that was mainly only due to the fact that we didn't have too much time to wait at the time. But now that it's been delayed, I would like to see something from them soon. And while they did say that they'd have more to show sometime soon, Rockstar's definition of soon seems to be completely different from everyone else's understanding. So you guys remember that last bit where I was talking about how the fact that since they delayed the game, I would have liked to see, more stuff, and the fact that them being quiet was just annoying at that point. There wasn't any anticipation. Remember that bit? Yeah, we'll forget that, because remember what they did? Well, don't completely forget that, because we'll probably have that same feeling, sometime later. But you know what they did today? They dropped the trailer. Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. You weren't expecting it. None of us were expecting it. So, yeah. In terms of me being annoyed for the fact that they haven't done any marketing, well, forget that. They just did it. They just did it. So, yeah, I don't know. And, you know, now that we have this, I don't know. I'm not going to be mad to wait another extra 6 months or like a year from now, because, you know, time has flown by since trailer 1, and now we have this. So yeah, me being all aggravated, ignore all of that.